This company is being bled like a stuck pig, Mac, and I got a paper trail to prove it. Check this out.
I couldn't think of a more horrible job if I wanted to. And you have to do it.
I will look for you. I will find you.
To make fine music, allow me. First.
Boy, that escalated quickly.
This is Sparta!
You shall not pass! Raider!
Would you like to see?
Yeah.
I think I'll kill you.
Think of my children.
You don't have any children.
Someday I might.
Shut.
Well, they say confession's good for the soul. I'd listen to this man. Take him away.
Let's put our cards on the table here, General.
You're scared of me because you can't control me. You don't. And you never will.
Welcome to the Iron Seas, everybody.
What is Niku?
Thanks for bearing with us on a slightly late start. We were having fun hanging out behind stage.
Actually, guys, I'm going to confess, there's no reason. We were all there.
Right.
We were.
Yeah. Seriously, yeah.
Which is what you guys are here to watch anyway, which makes so much sense why we delayed.
Fun
Anyway.
times were had by all except you.
Yeah. This is true. This is true. I am still shirted at this point.
Yes.
Apparently, it's tied for the worst crime. We'll have to see.
Yeah, I went for more happy vibes. Like they're outlawed because people covet them so much. The happy music, the shirtless paintings, the bust of Evely, and the coveted deleted Christmas scenes. You know, I could have did the opposite, and you know, but. Alas, welcome to the Iron Seas, everybody. I'm Captain AC. We got Captain Kahuna and Evely as always, and our guest tonight, Daniel P. Riley, the Iron Sage himself. Our movie this week was Equilibrium, starring Christian Bale, as you know, other people know it as.
I've never seen this movie.
Right, John Wick, Fahrenheit 51 is another way. Matrix, Matrix, but loud, right?
Neo-Wick.
Neo-Wick, yep. Good stuff, though. Good stuff. So, but we'll get right into that. But before we continue, just go ahead and find us everywhere. Smash that like button. Go to our link tree. Find our Substack. We got some nice fiction there, audiobooks. That's where everything's going to be. We're planning on doing it all. Let us know what you think about all this stuff. Tomorrow we have the review for the Superman 2025 dropping.
We talked for like over an hour. I don't know how long the edit is going to be, but we talked very, very in depth, and I've already gotten flamed on the internet for having an opinion about my favorite comic character represented in film of all time. So
how dare you?
How dare you?
You ruined my childhood.
But yeah, without any further ado, we can get at it here. That's enough shilling from you guys.
Get out of here.
We are here with the sensei himself, the Iron Sage, nude atop a mountain, speaking words into existence and putting them into books.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, Daniel, why don't you start by telling people about yourself a little bit, and then we'll get into the movie. And while you introduce yourself, why don't you tell them, because you chose Equilibrium too, so you can maybe that can be the segue into the movie, perhaps.
So, fair enough.
Yes.
For those who may not already know who I am, I'm Daniel P. Riley of Whimsyland Literary Coaching Services. I edit books, I write books, I teach other people how to write books. I also run 3 other businesses and happen to be incredibly busy at all times. So it's fun when I get an opportunity to sit down and just hang out with you guys. But without wasting too much time on myself, because I don't like to do that, I picked Equilibrium because it was actually one of the inspirations for my Jisedai book series. Yes.
Very good.
Yeah, spaced.
There are some very specific setting pieces in the film that I kind of dwelt on as I was designing the story and setting up all the information for all 18 books that I have planned out, and 3 of which are done.
That's insane, dude. Also, I was going to ask if that one scene where Morpheus slashes the car with the samurai sword in the second Matrix movie played a part of inspiration as well, or was that just...
Surprisingly, no. The Matrix didn't come into it at all.
It kind of has a vibe like it's not the same thing, obviously, but it's
like we just were sort of kind of skimming over right in the beginning there. Equilibrium kind of touches on a bunch of very specific tropes that other films did and expanded on, which I thought was interesting. But those tropes are classic. You know, the big awesome sword swipe cut through something scene has been done in everything, and the one you're talking about just happens to be one of the cooler ones. But I've seen it in anime from the 80s.
Oh, of course.
Too.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's had its place.
and he's gone. We will remember him in our hearts. All his happy music.
Surprisingly, Andrew Campbell, I agree. As much as I love Equilibrium, Johnny Mnemonic is better.
Really?
I've never seen that either.
We just watched it like 3 weeks ago. It was a tough sled. It's a tough sled. There's a lot of cool ideas there. I feel like if they rebooted it, it would be a really cool movie because the basic premise is really good, but it's just I don't know if it's budget or what. A lot of it didn't come together.
That is the reason why I say it's better, because with Equilibrium, you've got the payoff. The very end, you know exactly what it is. Everything's all wrapped up. With Johnny Mnemonic, you could sit back on the couch, stoned or not, and spend hours thinking about all the various things that film showed you, but didn't actually expand on.
Oh yeah, because it was not to go down a huge tangent about Johnny Mnemonic, but it was a side shoot of a broader world. It was like a small story, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So maybe one day, with all the reboots and everything, maybe it's a property that'll pop up again. But
I don't see it. It's possible, but it's like I'd rather see something like that than Blade. Leave Blade alone. The Blade movies are perfect, except for the third one and the one that was meant for TV. People forget there was a fourth. There was technically a fourth Blade movie. It was based. It was like it was horrible. It was unwatchable. I couldn't believe it existed. At first, like I had a pack of all 4 movies. I'm like, fourth one? What the hell's?
If I remember correctly, there are 5 Crow films, so you shouldn't be surprised that there's a 4th Blade film floating out there somewhere.
Yeah, made with like paid like
their
there were neighbor.
2 feature film Crow films, and then there were 3 direct to DVD at the time.
There's so many bad direct to DVD things, but
oh man, yeah.
Like you guys remember all the unofficial like Disney sequels, like straight to DVD or straight to TV?
Mm-hmm.
All sequels. Yep. Some of them actually weren't terrible, but they were never as good as like the original, obviously.
Sure. I think the one I got burned on the worst with was I picked up a collection of Chuck Norris films I'd never seen.
Oh,
and it was one of those packs where the first movie is like one of the big awesome ones. There's like 5 more on there, and they're just throwaway straight to DVD. And I remember throwing one on, I'm like, this premise sounds cool. And I started up, I'm like, why is this 1,000 times worse than the first one in every way? And then I'm reading the back, and it's like rated G. I'm like, what is this? What is going on?
Mm-hmm.
And then you look it up, and I was like, no, don't do that to Chuck. How dare you?
Hey,
that guy still looks good for his
age. Man at the time.
Oh man, Steve, like it's like any Steven Seagal. I don't know if any Steven Seagal film is actually good, but I love watching some of his movies.
Yes, that is correct.
They're all fun to watch, depending on how many drinks you've had.
It's hard.
Also true.
Very true.
And if you're around buddies, like if you have a handful of friends and you're just like, we're gonna watch a dumb movie, they're pretty excellent. Just like a lot of Van Damme's lesser films, like The Order, terrible. You watch it with some friends, you're hanging out, it's a good time.
Hedge says Under Siege wasn't bad.
That's true. He's got some ones that aren't total stinkers, but there's some that, again, better with a few drinks and some friends.
Yeah, for sure. Like the weird thing is, some of those movies is just because of when they came out, they're kind of considered slow burns by today's like schizophrenic standard a little bit.
That's true.
Like they linger on shots. It's not like throwing screaming goats at the screen every 2 seconds.
But the trick, Kahuna, is that whenever they linger on those shots, you know what's going on in the background? Delicious 1980s police cop saxophone. Like that city, like, I don't know, this city, the saxophone just like in the background. Yeah, it makes the slow burn aspect just like, you feel like you're taking a long drag of that cigarette with them.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Get that noir in there a little bit. Speaking of like lingering shots though, like one thing that stuck out about Equilibrium was the cinematography. They clearly like cared a lot about what the camera was doing. Like even the fight scenes, like I think it's the first one where he kicks the door down, then everything goes black. There's literally solid black screen for like 30 seconds. So 30 seconds of the runtime of this movie is just nothing, essentially. And we're okay with it because like the next thing is this very stylized, and they use the muzzle flares to kind of silhouette everything. So like I'm a geek of silhouettes. I'm a geek of doing things like on purpose. There might be like some symbolism there, like because, light and darkness, duality. The character is kind of going through a transformation throughout the story anyway.
Plus Christian Bale kind of sells everything that he does.
He does. Yeah.
I don't think I've seen a bad performance from him. I've seen some not ideal roles maybe for him, but I don't think I've ever seen a bad Christian Bale performance.
Okay. Yeah.
There's the first scene when he goes rogue against the guys out in the Nether is a perfect example of that. It took all of 2.5 seconds for the zone moment where his face goes blank and it's about to pop off, and then they do at least 15 seconds of altered position camera on him smacking the two shotguns back in the guy's face. It's just over and over and over again if you really pay attention to it, just to make it look frenetic, and then it holds for a good 5 seconds on the aiming for the oh shit, and then he fires. And like, if you pull back for a moment from the enjoyment of the scene and just think about it, there was plenty of time for all of those other guys standing there to just ventilate Bale's ass.
But like you have to pull back for that. It's better. I've had action movies where you're watching and you're like, why are they moving? I can see them taking turns. I see it. It's like maybe the worst offender of all time is maybe the Avatar movie, like the last Airbender. The first time they tried to adapt to that live action. That was horrible. Horrible.
Yeah, it wasn't good.
Also, just the idea of sense offenders, which just sounds like something else, and it made me laugh.
That's clever. Okay,
get your mind out of the gutter.
Perfect.
Well,
perfect
we have a
segue.
database of sense offenders. They're not allowed anywhere near children.
Yeah, they did that on purpose. Okay, they did that on purpose just to show how much their society is disgusted by this. Okay.
Yeah.
Clever. That's good writing. Okay, I wanted to talk to you guys about this. Do you think I want to talk about the tropes a little bit, whether or not they're fresh, like if they succeeded in making them fresh with their own spin. But before we do that, the audience needs to kind of know what the movie's about a little bit. So Evalie, can you give us like a good rundown of like what are we talking about here, right?
Yes, if you have not seen Equilibrium, here's the basic summary of it. So in a futuristic world, there's a strict regime, and it's eliminated war and all violence and all kinds of horrific things that man inflicts on other man. But the way that they do it is by
like that back then. Sorry, I'm just struck me. I'm like, they made a lot of late 80s to early 2000s. There are a lot of movies about like some future utopic society. Wonder why that is.
Yeah, I don't know, and I think I won't be surprised if it crops back up again. But the way that they get humans to stop warring, because the movie begins, we'll get into it in a minute, with like World War III, and they're like, this can't ever happen again. So they suppress all human emotion, which means anything that could bring emotion out of you, whether it be books, art, music, not only are they strictly forbidden, and basically feeling anything is a crime punishable by not a day or two in jail or a slap on the wrist, but punishable by death. So Cleric John Preston, played by Christian Bale, he's a top-ranking government agent. He's responsible for destroying those who resist the rules. Now, the drug that they take is called Prosium, and he misses a dose of it. You got to take it like throughout the day. They have a morning interval, I think a night interval, and they have this little thing they got to inject in their neck in order to take the drug, and he misses a dose, so he's starting to get like sensation back. So without this mind-altering drug that hinders emotion, Preston, he's been, again, trained to enforce the strict laws of this new regime. Suddenly, he becomes the only person capable of overthrowing it. And there's a lot more about his character that we'll get into as we get into the story here. But Christian Bale, obviously in the lead. Sean Bean is there until he does Sean Bean things.
Sean
Emily
Bean is
Watson
there for all of 10 minutes.
Yeah.
He's like, Bean's the man, though.
Even less time than normal.
He's one of my favorites. He did
not
good.
Simply collect a paycheck, but he did. Taye Diggs is in it, which I don't know if he's done a whole lot of other films. I liked him a lot in this movie, and there's a couple other names that I recognize, but I don't know where from. I know William Fichtner was another one. Dominic Purcell, was that just the name of the guy? Wasn't that or was it Torletto? I'm thinking of Fast and Furious, because I think I'm somewhere deep in my subconscious, I'm always thinking of Fast and Furious.
He's thinking about family.
Anyways, the budget on this film was $20 million, but it only made $5 million. Biggest reason for this was that it only went to 300 theaters. So the company that was behind it, a lot of the test audiences said it was a Matrix knockoff. It was a post 9/11 world. The movie's
came
not
right around that, yeah.
Yeah, it's not like a feel-good film. It has hope, but it's not like a feel-good time. So it did not play well with test audiences. As a result, rather than spending millions more to get it out and promote it, they sent it to theaters to just 300 a die, more or less, which is a shame because as we're talking about it now, it picked up some cult classic status once it hit the shelves in Blockbuster and other rental stores where people get their hands on it. Even if they missed it in theaters, they're like, how have we never heard of this? This is actually a pretty cool movie.
Right.
It's an art house film. It was a big budget art house film.
Yeah.
It felt to me almost like it hit me more like an 80s movie, kind of. Like the pacing and the special effects. It was like this weird in-between where it wasn't 90s, but it was like 2002, which is when it came out, and 80s. Like in just the special effects and a lot of the way that they did the action in it. It's just, I don't know. It was a unique experience. I can't think of any other movie that did it. Like, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't right. If that makes sense.
It felt like a pre-9/11 film, post-9/11, which I think is maybe part of the problem. No, like think about it. Movies changed after 9/11, though. Like a good example is look at movies about alien invasions. Pre 9/11, you got movies like Independence Day. Post 9/11, those movies are a little bit different. Suddenly, we're not blowing up monuments on screen anymore and getting over it for some reason. But yeah, I think part of it is that like I've been looking into this for a different project recently, but there's this kind of psychology, like social understanding. Like a lot of people were still believing in this potential utopic society. All the people who were looking at Star Trek and believing that that's the future somehow. They get a harsh awakening early 2000s, and then that is no longer the kind of general expectations of certain groups of people in the US at least. I was young, so feel free to jump in here, but that's just something I was looking into.
No, you're good. Your statement is sound. I am reacting to the chat. What do you mean you've never seen Dark City?
I never even heard of it until like.
Who are you? Why are
7
you
months ago? And then we picked it up at a flea market. It was like in the last bucket. I was like, oh yeah, I heard this was good. $1? We'll take it. And she watched it whenever I wasn't home or something. She was like, "It's actually really good." I was like, "I heard good things. I just need to watch it at some point." That's
Your
all.
wife has fairly good movie taste, actually.
Sorry.
Yeah, she's
I can see how
good.
it's invasive.
Yeah, she likes more things than I do, because if I find one thing about a film that bothers me, I might just dislike the entire film, which...
We were talking about Superman behind the scenes, like just in the captain's chambers, and Justin was like, he was looking for reasons to not like it before without even watching it. He's
that's true, because I can't stand Jimmy P. Shooter. That's accurate. But he did make several mistakes. No, Corn Sweat seems like
Jimmy P. Shooter is a hilarious alternate name for
James Gunn. Jimmy
James
P.
Gunn.
Shooter, yeah.
Jimmy
putting
P.
his
Shooter.
own dog in the film. But I don't want to go on a Superman tangent.
You heard it here. You check out our review tomorrow. That's the Superman tangent.
People are not going to agree with me. In fact, I know people already don't agree with me.
I got your quote in there, Evely, and I got Jared Christman's quote in there too. So.
The quote exactly as I wrote it.
It's towards the end though, so stick around.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
But that makes more sense as to why Justin didn't understand my art house statement. So, Dark City, they're surprisingly more commonly city-oriented films, but Dark City, City of Lost Children, Equilibrium, and a few others, even though it's based on a graphic novel, V for Vendetta, all have the same style, and it's more commonly found in art house films than in the mainstream.
I didn't think, when I was younger, I always thought of V for Vendetta as having like a comic book influence, but it's kind of like an art house comic kind of influence for sure.
But it was
it's definitely both.
They took some liberties with it in order to have it fit that particular style. But yeah, it's based on a graphic novel. That's why it seemed like it was almost a comic come to life.
Yeah,
but
it definitely
Lost Children is French, and it's wild, but it's exactly the same concept. And generally speaking, art house films don't follow the metric of mainstream film, where there has to be a, I guess what you would consider a soft resolution of some kind after the actual resolution ends. Art house films have a tendency to drive their point and then stop.
No, it's like full stop. There may be a world after this, but you're not going to hear anything about it.
Yeah.
Would Sin City fall into that category for you? Do you think? No.
Art house or what? What did I miss? Sorry, I just got
that. Sin City wouldn't count as an art house film. No.
Yeah.
I don't really know. I don't know what art house really means then.
Well, like Sin City comes off as art house, right? Because it does have a lot of like poeticness to it, but that lends itself to the world building and the source material, and it's actually trying to be more like a comic book, which is more stylistic.
Well, right? What you would expect from the term art at its base point is something that catches people's attention and doesn't explain itself.
Okay, man, there was one movie that in our chat. Oh heck!
So like with art house films, you have to infer more meaning as an audience member instead of like the film. Okay,
they're thinky films. And
okay, that's good and bad. That can be very bad.
If you deconstruct Equilibrium, it's very thinky, which AC's been trying to do this entire time because he's got a lot he wants to say about it, and I'm here for it. But as much as it's a engaging action film, it has a lot to say underneath all of that.
Yeah, I've just been leaving notes in the private chat here so I don't forget them. Because I actually this movie really stood out to me. I was like, okay, I see why Daniel chose it and why it's one of his favorite.
It is absolutely one of my go-tos. I'll watch it every couple of months.
Oh wow!
Mm-hmm.
I might join you on that. To be honest, it's really good.
I need to be in the right mood, and I don't know, because there are movies and stories where I've seen where it's mysterious and ambiguous, but that doesn't mean the same thing, though it can have a similar effect. Like
true,
you asking yourself, what was the actual meaning, what happened, what was real. Heck, we were just talking about a small time version of all this, but like Inception last week, and that was like the ambiguous nature of that ending was always worthy of discussion of that kind of nature.
Yeah, every once in a while you get mainstream films that hit it really good, but most of the time Hollywood doesn't pick up art house films specifically because the general audience of film goers isn't interested in thinking. They just want to be entertained.
And that's fair. It's the like audience determines the market most of the time anyway, and art house is going to be a little.
Another good one that kind of skimmed the mainstream that's more art house was Children of Men.
Oh yeah, that one was,
yeah.
I like that one.
Yep.
Another one that I would consider is Thor: Love and Thunder, mostly because it made me question all of my life choices and the meaning of every choice that led me to the theater watching that film with a fat girl that I was dating at the time.
As you should.
Calling kettle black here, but it was that was an interesting time.
I remember The Children of Men. That movie, dude. That's the scene where there was a huge actress that was in it. It wasn't Gillian Anderson, but
huge.
Yeah, she's in it for like 5 seconds, and whenever she exits stage left, I'm in the theater. I was like, holy crap! And then you can't name the first child born in 20 years, Froley. I remember that. Anyways, I can't find the movies that Bill Armstrong was talking about. There's a series. They're from a non-American director, and what you're describing sounds exactly what he was talking about, where it was these it's like 3 different characters, but I can't remember the name. Whenever he gets in here and comes, I have a feeling that Daniel, you're gonna be like, oh yes, I know exactly what that is, but I can't remember the name offhand.
Yeah, with more context, I probably have seen it.
Yeah, I'm struggling. My brain is like, oh, dig. But anyways.
Yeah, another movie that probably got pretty close to making it on, like, what'd you say, Daniel, every couple months for this one, you said?
Yep.
Another movie that got really, really close to that for me was Animal Farm, man. That story, like, it's short enough where you could just pick it up multiple times a year. An audiobook is free on YouTube. Like, holy crap. It's like, but I'm realizing a pattern with myself. It's these very thinky, because like I said, they cared about like the cinematography. There's strong themes going on. They dove into good tropes. I actually suspect they may have actually succeeded in giving fresh life to tropes. So they're not cliches, right? Even though they are the most tropey. Like, think about it. How do people describe this movie? They're like, it's Fahrenheit 451, it's 1984, it's The Giver, it's The Matrix, it's all this stuff. But yet they're not being like derogatory when they describe it like that. They're saying it in a good way, which is typical. Usually, I mean, I don't want to speak for everybody. Usually they're like speaking in a good way for it.
Yeah, it depends on who you are, really. Because, like I said, you could just watch it and go, that was a badass action film, and not think about it any further than that.
Yeah.
But
I like movies where you can have a bit of
the more
both.
Interesting it gets.
Yeah. The more you think about it.
I like movies that make me think, if I were in this situation, what would I do? And that's not quite art house, but it's a little more. You have to be really invested in what you're watching to really get that.
For sure.
So.
Yeah.
But like the one of the coolest things, I'll start AC's roll on tropes here.
Please do.
One of the coolest and most interesting things about the film is that the precedent that it set up was totally false. The society did not, in fact, eliminate emotion. There was a rebel underground the whole time. The leader wasn't taking Prosium. That you could argue that Tay Diggs' character wasn't taking Prosium because he was absolutely off his rocker emotional.
Yeah, he was.
Well,
and Preston's own children weren't even taking it after the death of their mother, and he had no idea.
I forgot this movie was Demolition Man. Sorry.
right. Well, right. But like, and then they also did all that to get rid of war too, but like their solution to that is to declare war on all these things.
Correct.
Right. And how's the movie even like open and everything? It's like We're gonna burn art. We're literally gonna violently destroy things. Like the whole thing is very like Soviet era
or Fahrenheit 451.
Yeah, well, like a double think, like war is peace, you know, like that kind of thing.
Yeah. To me, I think one of the coolest things about this film, and one of the reasons that it was such a dud, was that, like you were saying, it does make you think if you want to sit down and think, but it has action too. So if you want to enjoy it as an action movie, unfortunately there wasn't quite enough action to win over the action fans, and for the thinking people, maybe they didn't make them. I don't know. It didn't hit the way that it could have, I guess, and that's part of why it fed into it. But at the same time, that's one of the coolest things about it, because you watch it now, it's not just this boring slow burn slog about poetry and he's reading Yeats and what did this mean when he's talking about the waking dream or whatever it was. Instead, it's like you get these moments where you're thinking, but then there's a couple little moments with the characters that are interesting, and then some awesome action as well. So it gives you a lot of it's like a buffet of things that are enjoyable, but it's not just mindless action like some of the action movies you were talking about earlier.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of like the way that it makes me think of spoilers for Firefly and Serenity, the overall effect of
20-year-old show. Spoilers.
Spoilers. Guys, there's this old book called the Bible. Spoilers. We're going to talk about
spoilers for Revelations. Yeah.
Spoiler alert: Jesus dies.
What?
Wait. What is at the end?
What did you say?
I haven't finished Chosen yet. God.
He's my favorite character.
I love all
hope
the
he comes back.
Chosen
twist.
memes.
Yeah.
It's like he got like someone's reading it for the first time. It's like, oh, that trope. I've seen it a million times.
Well, that's kind of what I was saying, right? Like they took the biggest tropes, like literally Fahrenheit 451, like suppressing the emotions and everything. It is almost one for one with like some of the world building of all these other things, 1984, all these other things, right? That's the source of all these tropes. But I think they did it well. They put a fresh coat of paint on it. They, you know, and this is, I thought it would be a good segue to talk about tropes versus like stereotypes, or is that the correct term? I may be using the wrong term.
Tropes technically are stereotypes.
Yeah.
Yeah. That and genres are a collection of tropes, right? It's interesting how it's like a nesting doll. Yeah. And I don't think stereotypes is the correct word. I think the word I'm thinking of is cliche. Cliche is the term I'm thinking of.
Isn't a cliche just a trope done poorly?
Yes. Yeah.
Technically done too often.
Okay.
That too.
Yeah.
Yeah. If
like
you can overdo it. Yeah.
Like evil Superman character. Thanks, guys. We haven't seen this every superhero show in the last 15 years.
Right.
Ugh.
In that vein, the hypothetical
sect. No.
But like in that vein, the hypothetical would beg the question, like, it's not impossible to make a good one then, even with that saturated environment. You just got to do it right? And so
pretty much.
You can see almost any trope done well. You can almost always find an example of a majority of tropes done well. There are many,
but
some
even
that
a
are
trope done well could be cliche. It's just how it's received by the audience. I mean, like Justin said, Equilibrium fell on its face as far as the box office is concerned, and it's critical reception with test audiences. So it depends on how the audience receives it.
Well, yeah, it's like it wasn't a great film and definitely not a great adaptation, but like I didn't hear anybody who watched Alita Battle Angel complaining about her being a girl, like this badass female like girl boss, partially because that wasn't what they were doing. They were just telling a good story, and it
had source material to lean on.
Yep, and it had logic in the world building. She's a girl boss. She's a fucking cyborg.
She's gonna be
a robot.
Yeah, I got to do my voice. I got to do my Ben Shapiro voice. She was going to be a girl with facts and logic. So,
yeah. and that would be doing the trope correctly. That's a girl boss trope done well. And I mean,
true.
So I actually see the distinction you're saying, Daniel, about cliche. It does have a degree of like how often it's done, and the saturation to that kind of definition. So I don't know. Words are weird. But you guys kind of know what I'm saying. Like tropes, are just like in everything.
Well, like this film does make me think of like Demolition Man and The Minority Report. Any of like these future utopic societies where things are not as nice or good as they seem, and most people are not really in the know, so to say, or at least they don't see the problem with it. Like reminds me of the Matrix for the same reason, kind of thing.
Yep. You got to wonder about a society that espouses itself as purely logical, but its entire governmental infrastructure is designed like religion.
Well, I was reading about that somewhere recently too. Essentially, like the tools. Oh yeah. In sci-fi, there's this tendency, especially in like really grand sci-fi. Like a lot of these older authors were like staunch atheists, like would worship science, maybe not be Scientologists, but same thing, and believe in like either this utopic future, aka Star Trek, or the more realistic, maybe slightly more realistic version, Dune, despite where those books go. And it's like they all frame things with religious language and symbolism because it just lends itself to that style of storytelling. It's almost it would feel out of place if it wasn't there. Actually, there are stories where I've seen people have purposely tried to take it out, and it takes the color out of it and makes it's not interesting anymore.
Well, the spice must flow.
Very specific correlation there. Essentially, the Society of Equilibrium is the Vulcans.
Yeah. Except I like this movie and Star Trek sucks. Besides that.
Well, the Vulcans in lore also struggled with their emotions underneath all of that logic and discipline that they wrap themselves in. So it's a completely common sci-fi trope. You'll find it everywhere if you really look for it, but most people don't think about it.
It's like, they're so composed, and then like they snap, and then it's like they're like the trope of the calm man. Like don't raise the anger of like don't bring on the wrath of a calm man kind of thing.
Yeah, but in Equilibrium, they refer to the leader of their society as father, which is
so it's
a purely religious aspect.
But it is
referred to the peacekeepers and judiciaries of their society as clerics.
I was going to say, they call him cleric, because that's what he is basically.
Well, and father has the double meaning of family too. So it's like not only am I like your god, but I'm your father, right? At the same time, when you have clerics surrounding a father,
as the leader of the society, you should now call me daddy. It's not weird. Don't make it weird.
Yeah, don't make it weird. You're looking at me funny.
Actually, you with the shirt. Yeah, you
don't emote at me.
You can make it weird.
That's how this actually started. Somebody got elected, and they were looking at him funny whenever they proposed these things. Like, I want to be called father.
Call me daddy. Just
call me daddy.
It's not weird.
Yeah.
And they hear the even weirder part.
What's that?
Yes.
What was the government structure called?
Oh no.
The Tetragrammaton.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
They were the Tetragrammaton, and the judiciaries were called Tetragrammaton clerics. Now the Tetragrammaton is a Hebrew symbol.
Yep.
I knew it was Hebrew, but I don't remember. I don't know anything else.
It represents the name of God in 4 symbols.
Interesting. Well, so then and it kind of sounds sciencey, right? That's a very technical term for that shape, instead of like the Ankh, right? Well, the Ankh has like or like the crucifix versus a cross, or like, you know what I'm saying? Like there's different terms.
Well, the Tetragrammaton is the star, basically.
Right. But like my point, I think they also are kind of like very, very subtly incorporating a little science into that too. So it's like religion in every category: cleric, father, I can't pronounce that word, tetragrammaton.
Oh my god! But then made famous by the works of H.P. Lovecraft, the Necronomicon.
Yeah. So it's kind of like family, science, government, all linked together by religion. So under a religious umbrella so that's kind of how people view it as religious.
But that was the deviousness of Father, the leader, when he was alive, and the history that they don't really go into was that in order to fully control a society that wanted to give up its emotion, he set up a religious infrastructure that would appeal to the masses and be easily explained to their emotionless response capabilities.
Well, shit, they even call the drug the opiate of the masses, which is a common humanism going way back. I can't remember who first said it. Was it a Roman emperor first said that? I can't remember.
Unfortunately, not something I retained in my vast well of useless knowledge, so I don't know.
I think it was a Roman emperor. Somebody in the chat might know this, but I think it was a Roman emperor referring to like bread and circus. I think that was when it was coined. But ever since then, like every dystopian thing has some sort of quote unquote opiate of the masses. But that was another trope I caught, and they just tossed it out there, not giving a fuck, and I was here for it. I was like, yeah.
An opiate.
Yeah. But they're kind of telling their subservient population, hey, we're giving you a drug. We're literally, and I mean, that's their whole society, is they believe that they are above normal human things. They are transhuman, which actually leads me to what I was going to bring up earlier. True or false? You could remake this entire movie, but and you can make it into fantasy by substituting this entire society with an elvish society. You'd
have to, you could like.
I don't think so.
It's not a drug. It's magic. It would be. It's
not even magic. Tropes. Just elves.
Right? No, he's talking about the society, but because generally speaking, traditionally speaking, elvish society is restrained, but they're extremely artistic and expressive.
And then rather than just not being restrained, and extremely autistic.
Yeah, rather than just being suppressed.
Artistic, not autistic.
Depends on what elves.
An entire society of autistic people will be quite interesting.
Yeah,
that's basically the armed forces, dude. I say that with love because I've worked with all of them. But
telepathy tapes. That is all. I see what you're saying, though. They need their art.
Elves are classically designed to be highly artistic beings, and that's how they express. That's why they can be so socially restrained, is that everything that they make is done with what an equivalent to Asian cultures. They dig down so deep into the ability to craft things that they create art out of the most simple craftsmanship.
Yeah, well, it's like, it's the interior plate for a door for a door handle, and it's engraved. No one's ever going to see it. Why is it engraved? But it's that idea taken to an extreme, at least with elves.
Yep. So,
but yeah.
Art is literally what that society wanted to get rid of in Equilibrium because of its ability to invoke emotion.
And, these kind of worlds always are interesting to contemplate, but it never. The only thing that breaks down for me is if I consider how the world got this way, and I kind of almost never buy it. Almost,
I could see it.
I can see it small scale, but not. I have trouble figuring in large scale. Like North Korea could do this, but not the United States.
Yeah,
like that kind of thing.
But that's exactly what the setting was. It was a confined city society. Yep. So it wasn't like saying the entire world was run by Father. It was just this particular society in this particular place was so afraid after the World War that they hold themselves up inside of their structure and completely got rid of all emotional response. Very similar to what they did with V for Vendetta, which is the same world setting. They walled themselves off from the rest of the world because the rest of the world was falling apart.
Yeah.
It'd be a shame. Imagine a government creating a virus and using it on their people, and then using the fallout of that to set authoritarian. Anyway, I want to stay. I want to stay alive and in this room. So we're gonna.
The truth is stranger than fiction, my friend.
Well, and I think the reason behind isolationism was they claim that humans are like endangered, right? That's one of the subplots of the Equilibrium. Is they're like, you don't want to go to the outside world. Humanity is like, they're all cavemen out there. I think it like nobody exists. It's implied, but it's never actually stated. Which is probably a lie, right?
It's probably a lie. Yeah.
But the same thing with V for Vendetta.
Yeah.
Because their societal structure said the same thing. Outside of these walls, there's danger everywhere, and people cannot thrive. So
you cannot survive without us. It's like what the Chancellor Sutler was saying at the very end. We need to remind them that they need us.
Yep.
Well, then there's also the brave new world aspect of it, right? Where I think in that story, it's like they're constantly comparing. Yes, they're constantly comparing Britain to America, right? America.
Is Brave New World where this guy who's not in society is brought into modern society and then he ends up offing himself at the end? Is that the book that I'm thinking of?
I can't remember the specifics. I just remember a lot of talk that like America is basically in chaos and they're all poor and starving, and then but we're great, we're fine and safe here, so just listen to us, kind of thing.
Okay, that's not. I'm thinking of a different book. Daniel, do you know what book I'm talking about? It's a book. It's like considered one of the earlier sci-fi books. It's an earlier part of the 19th or the 20th century. And this guy, he's basically like living like an aboriginal. Basically, they bring him into the modern world where they medicate away all their problems, and he's fascinating because he cares about everything, and religion doesn't exist. And then at the end, he talks to like the leader of the society, and the guy breaks it down for him. He's like, "Oh yeah, no, here's the Bible. Like if God still exists, then he doesn't really care about us anymore." And then the guy ends up going crazy and offing himself, and everybody in the society is they can't understand it because it's so far outside. They live in such comfort. It's so outside of their even like it's not even a possibility. Like what's even the purpose of that? They can't even understand it. What is that? What is that book?
We'll figure it out at some point.
It's not coming to me. It'll appear in my brain at like midnight.
But you're getting hints of what book. Like, I'm sure you've read this.
I recognize it.
Yeah,
it sounds familiar. That's for sure. Especially the whole being on the outside of the society, coming in, and that whole thing.
It's like he has morals, and this woman like tries to seduce him. He's like, "No, don't touch me. I want it, but I can't." She's like, "What's the big deal?"
Might be Brave New World.
It might be. Yeah.
I'm gonna look. I need to look it up. You guys talk.
Okay. Yeah. So, Equilibrium, the whole being punishable by death, it just sounds like a crazy. So this is the two-pronged side of this movie.
Death. That was that was a fairly new part. If you listen to what they talk about in the dialogue, it was a recent decree from Father that the clerics and the Nether Patrol Guard could kill sense offenders on sight. Before that, in all of the time that the society has existed, the punishment for any sense offense was incineration. You were literally set fire to.
And if you live, or not, you don't?
No,
basically?
It was the combustion chamber, which they show in the film when the woman is executed. That was what they did with everybody until it got to a point where the Tetragrammaton realized it couldn't continue to slow kill sense offenders, and they just said, okay, fine, just shoot them.
Yeah.
So you knew, if you really paid attention to the context, you knew that the society was crumbling already before John Preston went AWOL.
And it's still on that slope, right? But even having the punishable by death thing, to literally end a life and a bloodline over like an emotional thing that's biological, they're practicing eugenics. The goal of that by the end of the day is to literally become the Vulcans from Star Trek, to breed it out to the point where they don't even need the drugs, I'm sure, is probably their actual goal with that.
Ultimate,
I'm curious what secret eugenics practices are going on in the world today. Like, or not practices, but like, I'm sure someone is experimenting with it, and like,
I'm sure
we have no idea. I'm positive that's happening. It's got to be happening. It's like one of the most believable things. Like, the more I've learned about things recently, I'm like, that's got to be happening. Someone's messing with genetics.
Natural selection is eugenics.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like,
it's just natural eugenics.
Like government or science sponsored and controlled eugenic.
Controlled eugenics.
That's what I mean. Yeah,
controlled eugenics. Yeah.
Also, Herman answered it.
Normal.
Herman answered it, and I looked it up. Yes, I am talking about the book Brave New World, and it is one of the more unusual dystopian novels I've ever read. Very unusual. The conclusion is what makes it weird.
It is kind of weird.
We're talking about this movie.
No, I've only read it once. It's good. People should check it out. We should revisit it for the book club. But like, yeah, Equilibrium. The fact that they declare war on everything, and that's their way to get rid of war. Do you guys agree then that they gave the tropes new life? I think they did, personally.
It does some things well and believable in it. Like, some of the ideas that they tackle, I think they did okay on. I think others, I don't know. Sometimes, I don't know. It's really hard to say, because sometimes ideas are so vaguely looked at that it's hard to even contemplate them properly. And others, like most movies, are too specific with their ideas. But I feel like sometimes films like this are a little too vague as well. And I think I do wonder. I don't know. I'd have to watch it again.
There's no opportunity to expand enough on a concept like Equilibrium's within the constraints of a hour and 45 minute long film.
Well, not with that attitude.
There's too much there. It's true. There was too much there to really give it concrete evidence. You have to go into it with some suspension of belief. And for me, it's the fight scenes. As wonderfully flashy and entertaining as they are, they're completely illogical.
I was joking with someone in chat earlier. I was like, this is just Christian Bale behind the scenes with a slightly annoying crew person.
This is just his life. Yeah, this is a documentary.
I love the gun kata. So in the gun kata in the movie is basically what you're saying is illogical. And correct me if I'm wrong.
Not just that.
It's so cool.
The spar duel between Preston and Taye Diggs' cleric character is completely, it's all flash and no substance at all. Like, you can't fight. The truth of the matter is you can't fight reverse grip with a katana. It's fake.
So you're not saying that the concept is ridiculous. You're saying the way it's executed on screen.
The execution of it is absolutely choreographed just to be entertaining. It's not even remotely functional.
It doesn't pretend to be at any point.
And neither is the gun kata, but they set it up as part of the setting that it has been trained and perfected over the course of their society into what it is, so it makes sense. But realistically, if somebody tried to do that, they'd be dead in 5 seconds.
Yeah, some special forces got to be standing back, just like bam, bam. All right, that was
Not
cool.
even
Anyway.
well, not even that. Because of if you understand firearms in any basic capacity, there are variable factors from barrel to chamber that change the trajectory of a bullet as it leaves the barrel.
Oh, like Wanted. Yeah, we learned all about this.
Yeah.
Well, no, not like bullet curving and bullshit like that.
Mythbusters.
But I mean, a bullet doesn't travel in a straight line.
No.
So there is literally no scientific way for anyone to perfect a movement form that minimizes the chances of being struck by a projectile that does not travel on a straight line.
Now, in fairness, though, they said that it only gave him a 63% advantage over a standard. It wasn't like you will always succeed. It was so they tried.
63% is a lot, though.
Oh yeah.
Except for the fact that you watch Christian Bale go through an entire long hallway full of 20 dudes with rifles and
the best.
not get struck once.
He's the best. He gets struck at the very end by a sword. He's got that cut on his neck.
Yeah, he gets a very light cut, not on the jugular in the sword fight.
If you can,
I'm
actually, it doesn't happen in the fight. It's afterwards. It's when he's making his way there because he doesn't have the cut on his neck after the fight. It's later on. And I've even since I was a kid, I'm like, when did I guess he get that cut on the way here? Like he was doing so good, and then he almost died. I guess off screen.
No, it happened.
He had to shave. Actually, is what happened.
It happened during the private guard fight with the katanas. While he was slicing everybody up with the reverse grip, one of them nicked it.
I swear they don't show any blood or wound on his neck, period, until that scene. I got to go back and rewatch it. But
go back and look. The cut is there when Taye Diggs pulls the sword and goes to approach him, and he basically just ganks that guy in 3 seconds.
As you do.
Okay, I gotta rewatch. I swear, I don't remember seeing that. But but in terms of if you can suspend your disbelief, I think that the gun kata as a concept is really cool, even if it's
it's ridiculous. It's very fun.
Absolutely,
I like
fun.
it because they're not hacking reality like the Matrix. It's not a superpower. It's just like no, we're studying predictability. If I shoot here, that means that this guy, he's gonna move here, and it's like there's no way you could process all this. You have to be a super.
Nothing's cooler than a gun
Christian
guy.
Bale, and you're number one. So he just walks in his room and he just starts going like this, and he's just shooting guys, and they're basically walking into his bullets, and it's just like this quick motion that it looks a little bit silly at times, but mostly I just thought it was super cool. And as far as I'm concerned, I'm a fan of rule of cool. So I really enjoyed that. The concept of the gun kata came from John Woo films in
Asia. That was where the idea came from. John Woo's gun battles use similar structures. And they just took that to its nth degree.
That helps to clear up if that was a direct influence for this film. I love the gun sequences because there's always concrete dust flying everywhere, tons of it. It explodes out from the walls and even out of the guys. I'm like, why are these guys full of concrete? But man, does it look cool on film. And like you said, if it is from John Woo, that's all of his movies, man. Whenever there's guns going off, everything's blowing up. There's crap flying everywhere.
Which
it's really
is
cool to watch.
Better than movies that don't acknowledge recoil and shrapnel at all. But
the unfortunate part is the truth of the matter is if you showed a real gunfight, it's not interesting.
Yep. It's typically not, no.
And
it's not. If you've ever been to the range and fired guns, it's fun to do, but watching it, you're like,
I don't know, Daniel. I have a 45-70, and against a watermelon, that there was fun to be had.
It's fun to do. But the actual observation of it is not all that interesting. And it's
I agree when you're talking about a 9mm. I'm talking about a 45-70. That's like almost 500 grams of powder. That's a lot more fun.
To your point, something that
it's all
even
magic.
I'm like, this is kind of silly. There's a gun kata showdown towards the end of the film, and when he's fighting the guy who's not father. I don't know what that guy. He was the stand-in or whatever. Who's also a gun kata dude.
Father's voice, basically.
He was the Holy Spirit.
So they're doing gun kata each other, and they're shooting, but they keep missing because they're countering each other because they're both gun kata masters. And every time a gun goes off, like right next to their head here, I'm like, he's deaf. Goes over here, he's deaf.
Exactly.
And it's like 10 or 15 shots. I'm like, there's no way. They'd both be like, oh my god, I won't be able to hear for months.
Bleeding from the ears.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a fun scene. So I was watching. I'm like, that's a little silly. That's fine. I'll break out the popcorn if you can. And I don't know, maybe that hurt the movie, but throwing in a little bit of silly, cool action to try and appeal to a wider audience, I'm like, I see what they were trying to do, because they had this cool story and it's deeper and all that, and they were trying to give it a broader appeal. So it
entirely depends on the vibe of the film, and any explanation they offer depends on like what their vision is. If it's a good vision and they're following their own rules, I'll buy into it. Like The Quick and the Dead, that movie doesn't take itself seriously at all, and I don't
like Alita, right? With Alita Battle Angel with the girl boss trope, like you build it into the writing and the world building, and you're fine. There you go.
Oh, she's a killing machine that has been fighting for like hundreds of years or so. Yeah.
Give Christian Bale fancy AI headphones, and then now it enhances his hearing and blocks out gunshots only because it uses AI software. I don't know.
It actually ends up getting him killed because it's translating someone else's Chinese into English. It's just like in his ear.
French. It just like switches to French. All the gunshots are like different. Yeah. He doesn't even know what's going on. Yeah.
That's for anyone wondering, that's what French guns sound. The ones that don't shoot out a white flag of surrender.
Yeah. Sometimes they say "we."
I might have to make an edit of that. Everybody uses duck
trigger on a French gun and it just jumps out of your hand.
Also, Herman, I agree with you, but I would keep in mind, when did Wanted come out? Like 2006. I was like 12 when that movie came out, so I remember it being terrible. I'm glad someone else has confirmed that Wanted was a terrible film.
It was 2008. Wanted? No, it was fun.
Speaking of terrible, let's go around and say what we thought of the movie. I'm going to say it floats. I liked it a lot. The themes pulled me in. The action was there. I agree with you guys on the cheese. It's not perfect, right? But I enjoy it. It's fun. It's like
the cheese is enjoyable even for someone who knows.
Yeah, and especially as somebody who, if you enjoyed the dystopian genre, there's all the tropes here, and they're done pretty good, and yeah, it's fun.
I'd rather watch this than any of the Hunger Games films. So yeah,
Boom.
It floats.
Boom, bingo.
Not a high bar, but
yeah. There's a ton of scenes that we didn't even get into, like the action and some of the little, like the nails that come out of the back ends of his gun, or the scene whenever he throws out the Weebles Wobble but they don't fall down clips, and then or magazines or the term is, and then jumps in and reloads, or he has the reload, where he runs out and he drops them and he's got in his sleeves and it reloads like that. There's a lot of cool moments in that sense.
Part of the kata.
Yes, and there's also
interesting.
Yeah,
I was waiting for him to crack a tooth and pull out another round out of there. Just pull it, slide the rack back, spit it into the tube, and close it again.
The movie does a really good job too, giving you bits of his backstory where he was there whenever I think he turned his own wife in for combustion, and so then
he was there at the combustion, but if there's a scene where he remembers when she was taken, and when they come in, he actually takes a couple of them out first before they're like, wait, we're here on business, don't kill us.
Oh wait, I'm talking about his wife, not Mary O'Brien later on.
When he thinks of when he remembers
yes,
when she's taken, they no-knock his house, they just barge right in. And his immediate response is just to go ham on them.
That's
until the one guy is like, no, your wife has been found as a sex offender. And then he's stunned. And then they show the scene where he's standing there witnessing his wife's combustion.
He sees himself just being like, yeah. It's just, there are interesting character moments where he starts off with his partner, what he does with his partner. And then once he gets off the meds, how he used to be and he sees himself later. There's just a lot of little interesting character moments throughout the movie. You really see him and his development arc throughout the film as well. So that stuff was really enjoyable as well. Basic story's cool. It has a hopeful message, unlike a lot of these dystopian films where everything's gloom and doom and you guys, you're just going to be eaten by the machine. Sorry. That's just, and no solutions and no hope. It's just going to happen. And oh my gosh, this thing's happening now. Are there any solutions in this book? There's none. Everything just sucks and you're going to lose. This movie doesn't do that, which I really
the genre, right?
This movie does not do that. I don't care about genre, tropes, or whatever the term is.
I think dystopian might be your least favorite genre of all time, maybe.
No, he loves it.
Well, not if it's like Equilibrium, where they're like,
yeah, but Equilibrium is not normal. Like, even Hunger Games ends pretty shitty by the time.
I haven't finished Hunger Games. That's why, because halfway through, I'm like, I don't know where this is heading. But Equilibrium, and I've watched many times, and you should too if you haven't checked it out.
Agreed.
So it has a hopeful message. It doesn't leave you being like,
Yeah,
it's like, I'm gonna go.
I almost want to give it a sink because there is a missed opportunity. Like the people like not on the drug. There you could have called them a sensual predator, and it never happened.
I will say, above all else, though, one of the best reasons to see this movie, and we should have had stills from the movie up to show you this, the cinematography, the use of lighting, the framing, the use of lines, and a lot, whenever you're watching it, if you're paying attention for it at all, you're just like, wow, they crafted this shot specifically and carefully, and the use of light is fantastic. For the cinematography alone, I think it's worth watching, but yeah, I enjoy it. I think it's definitely a float in my mind.
Awesome.
It was necessary for them to be very direct with the cinematography because the society being so dull, they had to play with the lighting, play with the camera angle in order to make the scenes more interesting because everybody's literally wearing the same outfit with the exception of the rebels.
Yeah. And not emoting.
There are some scenes, though, you could tell they were.
Batman here. This is perfect.
They were just going for cool, where he holds the two guns side by side, and the light shines through between the two of them, and it's just like gotta get this just right. And then the light blows up behind his head. It's like he takes on these guys, and then it's like
it's great.
The halo explodes. Stuff. Yeah. So it's a combination of like these artsy scenes, and also just like this will probably look cool. Let's just do this because it'll look cool.
yeah.
Which I appreciate.
It'll probably look cool. Probably do it.
Christian, could you just scoot up? I have been here all day.
Yeah.
Oh, boo-hoo!
So Daniel, you obviously sync it, right? It's a sync for you.
No. Oh yeah.
Well, you heard it here, guys. It's a flagship. Good one. It's a good one. Lesser known, flop at the time, aged well. Go check it out. And enjoy the new float clip. I actually have float clip and a sync clip just in case it sunk this week and going forward. Enjoy. Super official. Super official now.
And we fixed the intro for you, DPR. After months and months of complaining, it is fixed.
Also, animation overload. I'm Batman. Well, I'm Gunman, and your parents are dead, so...
Oh, no.
I'm Gunman. Yeah.
So that's really what happened with Batman.
Yeah.
Or like the Flashpoint storyline where it's actually Bruce that gets killed as a child, and then his dad becomes gun-toting I don't give an F Batman, and his mom becomes the Joker. Just it was fun, but they were like the constantly changing timelines are so messy, so confusing. That's why I like your stuff, man. It's so much like there's a lot to keep track of, but it's nothing for someone who's read anything like a complicated book. And it's like there's no alternate storyline, there's no alternate timeline. He doesn't go back. You don't get to see like alternate versions of Michael. It's like this is the story. This is a timeline where Michael was a pop star idol. We don't get that. That never happened. Or
spoiler. Would you like a spoiler?
Yeah.
Always.
Okay.
Always.
It's not an alternate timeline. One of the arcs that I have mapped out is a prequel trilogy, and it focuses on the dealings of Suzakushin Corporation before Gabriel, and Michael was
a pop star idol.
An idol. Yeah, he was an idol.
No way!
Yes.
Oh my gosh!
I am a god!
I thought Kahuna was just joking.
No, he
just
didn't.
joking.
Surprisingly, his joke is actually true. Michael was an idol.
K-pop.
No, this would be J-pop actually. This would be J-pop.
Bro.
I'm not familiar with J-pop idols.
Not in like the music sense, but he was the face of Suzakushin.
Oh, okay.
In his youth, and part of the reason why the company became so big was because young people came to trust Suzakushin and their technology because of Michael. He was the face of the company and sort of like their brand mascot, which was an idol. The idols in Japan aren't just musicians and singers.
They get their faces on credit cards. They're wildly famous over there.
Yep.
I cannot believe I guessed. That was such an off the cuff guess, dude. There's no way that should have been right.
And
I could have said any of them too, and
even more fun correlation spoiler to that's not really that big of a deal, but Michael being an idol is the reason why the 8 killers for Suzakushin are called the Holy Eight, and why they were given archangel names.
Oh, because he started a trend kind of thing?
Yes.
Yep.
He started. It was a trend that the people in the city started to refer to Michael in his youth because of how poised and pretty he was as an angel. And so it became a thing. They renamed him Michael and then started naming the other creations, the other experiments after angels as well.
I'd be curious to hear in your best, most authentic Japanese accent how you say Michael. How do they say it over there?
Do you want to wait? Do you want to hear my
Makaru?
Makaru.
Makaru.
Makaru-san. Or Makaru-chan? Would it be Makaru-chan if he's an idol? Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, it would have been
Mikey-chan.
San Makaru. San Makaru.
Micah, son.
There you go. Him as an idol in training.
We're gonna bring
that particular arc has a lot of interesting moving parts to it, though. I did post a lot of this information. I just didn't tell anybody that I posted it. It's available online, hidden away
somewhere.
For anyone that really wants to intrepidly delve through the internet. But yeah, it's all there, and the origin story of all of the archangels and Jisedai is really disturbing.
Oh, it would have to be, yeah. Like, imagine being the first guy they tried cybernetics on. That sounds. I don't want to be. I want to be like the 9th guy, the 10th guy. I don't want to be the first. It's like, hey, let's get it figured out, and then we'll try it. Yeah.
Oh, the reason why is awful.
Oh,
it's absolutely tragic.
Yeah, no, I would expect nothing less from your series. I love how you had your second book so much longer, so you could have another weapon-toting delinquent added into the storyline. It's a great addition.
Oh, what was that guy's name? I like
that there's a scene
Oz?
in the second book that I would pay money to have added. Like, it's one of the ones that I can picture most easily in my head, and involves that character. So you may know which scene that is. But
in 10 years,
a certain king, certain golden, rotund, one-eyed kind of king.
Anyway, here we are.
Now, the second book, hey, Jared. Now, the second book was longer because I wanted to add more world context to explain things for the reader. The first book was so tightly focused on just Gabriel and Hannah and what was going on with them that the second one had to be bigger and have more explanation in it. And the third one went back to being shorter intentionally because it all happens in one place. So all of the characters are moving around in one place, Suzakushin Tower.
Well, you said 3 books, right? And you said the middle one is the chunker of the trio, essentially.
Yep.
That makes sense. That's 3-act structure, brother. I'm sure that's
exactly.
Yep. So in theory, it should all flow good. Like the middle one, while being longer, should in theory, because of the content of the arc, like it all should just come together, essentially. Yeah.
And that's why those 2 new characters are introduced in 2 instead of having the entire cast be met in the first one.
Sorry, I hate to derail this for a second, but Jared, your hair reminded me of something. I finally figured it out.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. I'm sorry.
Speaking of sharing screens, though,
his hair reminds me of Wayne Static.
Oh.
Speaking of links, though, DPR is this your link in the private chat here that Evely posted? I can pull it up and like we can look through.
No, that was in reference to Kahuna's artwork.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, that's something else.
I'll go grab one of your books. Just keep talking. I'll go grab one.
I can get you the link real quick.
Okay. Yeah.
Won't take me too long.
Yeah. Go.
Yeah, just that was the idea. Was I had 2 characters to introduce that were not directly focused or engaged in any sort of interaction with Gabriel and Hannah firsthand. They had to come to the story secondhand through the events of the first book, and because of that, I had to explain the world a little bit more. So it ended up having an extra almost 30,000 words to it.
It's definitely longer, but there was I was worried, like, because everybody always has really cool ideas for scenes, and a lot of people dump all of them into the first book, and sometimes you get to like the second book in a series and you're like, you used up your good ideas. But I loved reading the second book for that reason. I'm like, oh, this is dope, this is cool. I'm with it.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm glad that the whole point and purpose of doing it that way was to structure the entire arc like a 4-act. So each book is its own 4-act, but the entire arc is a 4-act structure as well.
Why do you go with 4-act? Because I'm a bit more familiar with 3-act and 5-act, and they're kind of based. They're very similar to one another. Just one is just expanded. But what made you go with a 4-act instead of the more traditional?
The moving parts, because Gabriel and Hannah had to be the focus of the first book. I had to do 2 acts in the second book, specifically 2 acts of the total arc, which one of them was more focused on the Suzakushin Corporation and where these people that Gabriel was killing in the first book came from, and I had to have that extra arc for Yasuke Adachi and Azwu in order to bring the crew together. So it sort of was a jury rig, but it fit well in the 4-act structure.
Okay, yeah, no, that's just fine, because I've studied structure in the past when I was writing more often, and I'm always curious why people choose certain structures over another one.
Yeah, there wouldn't have been enough space for me to do it in a 3-act structure, and not format the entire arc in a 3-act structure either, because then the second book would have been just as long as the first and the third book, and none of the context could have been conveyed.
What structure?
What was that?
Huh?
I said, what is the structure you're talking about here? I don't understand.
We were
structure. We just wing it
earlier, actually.
I bet you guys outline it too, don't you?
Oh yeah, I do.
I bet you guys don't just sit down and write and pretend like you know what you're doing. Like,
yeah, I outline everything, and I've got outlines for books that I probably won't write for at least 4 years.
I was 4 chapters in before I did an outline.
That's fair. At least you did one. I've never outlined a single thing I've ever done. Maybe explains a lot, but
well, what was funny is like, I think Daniel, you and I have talked about this before, because I think you did something similar. It's like I wrote 4 chapters, then I did an outline, which kind of gave me a good idea, and then not a single thing in the outline is the same as it shows up in the book. Like everything in that outline changed in some way.
I've heard that from multiple writers. For me, the way I outline is very different, and I think it works best because it's sort of half pantsing. So the way I outline is I set up my chapters. I have 4 beats per chapter that I want to hit. So 4 things that have to happen somewhere within that narrative, but I don't care how I get there.
Yeah.
That's the same.
You got to have a little bit of flexibility. If it's too rigid, people can usually, like, you'll force your story to match the pace that you've pre-decided, and sometimes
you'll lose things. There were 2 things in this arc trilogy that I came up with on the spot. One of them is a main character.
Oh, wow.
That's Sato Hasegawa.
That's a big one. Yeah.
Sato Hasegawa didn't exist in my original outline.
Yeah. Same.
He actually appeared out of nowhere in my head while I was writing the church scene.
I thought you were going to tell us that you were over there, and then being like these Yakuza started chasing you, and you took shelter in this church, and then this old man came over and started like feeding you and taking care of you out of nowhere. But
no,
this story's also fine. This is fine.
Yeah, he appeared to me very suddenly while I was writing the initial part of them settling the church, and changed at least half of what was left of the book at that point.
Oh, it changes everything. If Hasegawa's not there, the whole book's completely different.
Right. So I totally had to go through that, and then I had to redo the outline for 2, and had to redo the outline for 3, even though Hasegawa doesn't have a lot of time for obvious reasons if you've read 2 in the 3rd book, but he has a very important, very major scene.
This is my favorite edition of Jisedai, actually. Cover this, it's so simple. It's in Japanese for those people who read that silly language.
Yeah, and apparently my Japanese name is Yun Murai.
Of course. What is? I think that means like
awesome.
Beautiful caterpillar or something. I'm not sure.
No.
I love seeing what else comes up when I type in my friend like authors.
Oh, there's a fun, stupid side fact. There is another author with my name from, I want to say, the late 70s, early 80s, who wrote fitness books.
It was me, actually. No.
Yeah. You're freeborn, so you can write them.
Oh my gosh, it's even the P. It's Daniel P. Riley. You guys don't even know about maximum muscular fitness. Strength training without equipment. He's got a little spotter pushing down on him. This is good stuff. This is good stuff. Yep. I would just take credit for it even if you didn't write it because it's that good.
When life gets you down,
that would be super impressive since I was like between the ages of 1 and 5 at the time that he was that those books came out.
But you were alive.
I was. I was writing from an early age about muscular fitness.
Maximum muscular.
I wake up in the morning, I do 500 push-ups.
Just little. There's an AI video like that out there.
Right in my crib.
It's like me. I didn't get to be born until the death of grunge. At least that happened. Maximum muscular fitness.
That's awesome.
This is amazing.
Who are they looking at? She's making eyes at somebody off camera. I want to know who she's looking at.
I want to advertise your book Daniel, but I want to use this cover.
Just slash those characters' faces on there, superimpose them.
Just use the art. Keep the Jisedai text and just put that picture up. And people are so confused. What the hell is this?
I'll have to commission somebody to do a cover of like Gabriel doing the push up and Hannah.
And on the back, yeah. Actually, no, we could go Star Wars with it. We could have Gabriel on her shoulders and her like running around.
Yeah, like Yoda.
They probably do have a pretty rigorous fitness regimen, so maybe you can that in the back section. There you go.
I don't know. That girl was skinny. She didn't look that heavy.
Right. He's trying.
It's not like trying to push it with me on your back. Now that's
to be fair, he was pretty skinny too.
Yeah,
yeah, but they were just skinny, strong back then.
Very 80s dressed in his soft denim and polo shirt.
I want to know what off camera thing they told her to stare at, because she was looking at it, whatever it was. Probably her real life boyfriend who's like, "Don't touch him, don't you do it."
He got cool shoes,
he's
though.
got maximum muscular fitness.
That's right, not minimum.
Like the skinniest wink. Maximum muscular fitness.
It's the before. You flip it over, and the afters on the back cover. You don't get to see that.
Oh yeah, that's and it's actually talking about her. Like she comes out like all roided up.
The back cover is just them flipped, and she's all strong. Yeah.
She has chest hair now for some reason.
Yeah.
All natural. Anyway. Oh wow, that was a tangent. Here we are.
Big tangent. You're welcome.
It's like Vera DeMilo. Like $1 to anyone who knows where that's from.
The only reason I know that this exists is because of Goodreads. When I put out my first novel, The Wizard's Mistake, I was looking at Goodreads for some of the reviews from folks that said that they had read the books, and I saw my name up there and was like, "Oh, cool!" And then I clicked on it, and it said, more books by the author. So I click on that, and I'm like, "Where did all of these fitness books come from? I didn't write these."
Oh, that's great, dude! It's so good.
There's another AC Pritchard floating around out there. I didn't check out what kind of books he's making, but I don't think it's like fiction at all. I think it's like nonfiction.
There's this famous amateur porn star with my name. It's me. No.
No, you're thinking of Christian Magnum.
Magnum.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't even change the first. It's like Christian with a K and then Magnum. Yeah. Not a very good alternate identity.
It's also a good secret agent name.
Yeah, it would be. It would be.
Somebody with my name covered Little Drummer Boy, it appears. So I gotta check that out.
Also a musician. I'm gonna say, like, I love Jisedai, but like Era of the Dragon is a whole vibe. Like, having read that, like, it's a good book.
I am so
like
excited for October when the second Modern Horrors comes out for everybody.
You told me a while back what it was gonna be too, and I'm trying to remember. It's been a while.
The werewolf, the Wolfman, but it's Wolf Girl this time.
Based.
It's so much fun. I've had a great time writing it. It's not in first person because after doing Area of the Dragon in first person, I swore I was never going to write a first person perspective book.
The first person really works for that book, though.
It does, yes.
It does work for, like, because there's a lot of feelings and emotions and in like internal and external thoughts going on there. There's a lot.
Area of the Dragon needed it, but with the narrative for A Beast Unlike Any Other, it definitely works better in third.
Yeah, because you have to step back and see it from the outside.
Yeah, and also because David from Area of the Dragon has a role to play in the second book and all the books moving forward through the series. So it definitely needed to be converted to third, and that's technically why, if you think about it, the opening and the ending of Area of the Dragon are in third, and it's almost as the interview with the vampire in that he's recounting your story.
Book I'm going to say something controversial, but your book is way better than Interview with a Vampire. I don't like
Means
that
a
movie
lot.
or that book very much, but
It means a lot because I can't stand Anne Rice.
oh, thank God. Okay. Oh, also, I think I found the best cover of anything you've ever worked on. Hold on, I'll bring it up here. It's not the best. It's my favorite. It might be your favorite too, AC. Any moment now. Where'd it go?
Well,
yes, by your daughter. This one's great. It's so cute. This is great.
So, interesting thing about this, these will be going away in due time. You may or may not have noticed the paperbacks are limited at this point. Anne Rice can kiss my ass, Andrew Campbell. But those individual books are going away because I've been in my copious free time, which is not sarcasm. I've been retooling these 3 books. I'm compiling them together into one with a new cover, but my daughter is doing interior illustrations for it.
Nice.
That's cool. Also, Daniel has been a single father. I wonder what this is about.
Yeah, good experience there. That's some like.
Yeah, you can tell this is my first foray into publishing.
Oh, for
Entire
sure.
bio ended up on there by accident. I'm like, ugh.
At least you're not making your main character a Batman/Punisher self-insert in your own story, which I know at least one author who's done that. I'm like, that's really cringe, dude, to make that yourself. It's like me, but if I were really Batman, yeah, that's it. No, this is great, dude. I haven't read anything by you that I didn't like, even some of your short stories from like a long while back. But yeah, no,
Dude,
I'm halfway through another Gentle Wild short, even though I don't do serials regularly. I've been working on the next short story for that little series.
No, that's going to be fun. It's like AC has, like, I was supposed to contribute too, but I don't have a computer at home, so it's harder for me. But AC has been doing like our short stories for our little Iron Seas stuff, and they're just fun. They're whimsical, fun little stories about really wacky stand-in characters.
Dare I say, it's some of
It's
the most
one
fun
thing I don't do.
Yeah,
So,
Daniel, I've been writing
practice.
shorter and shorter stories since I started writing again. I was like, I started with like a novel. It's like epic length, so like fatter than a normal novel, right? And I'm still editing that chunker because it turns out it almost takes as long to edit it as it does to write it. So, and now I'm busy. Yeah. But like the serial, like then it like went down to like short stories. Then I was doing like episodic short stories with spirit animals, and then now I'm like literally doing episodes of like a TV show. It's really fun.
Yeah, no, and the stories are wacky too because they don't have to follow any like strict world building. Like we have a couple of rules and basic ideas, but everything's so loose you can have a lot of fun with it.
As long as it fits the world build, you can do pretty much anything you want with a short. And that's what I'm noticing with doing these Gentle Wild things. I mean, the concept behind it is just silly to begin with. It's a D&D A-team, basically. But being able to go from a serious and strong adventure dealing with, fighting orcs and on a cliff face and finding a ruined, totally sacked and destroyed village full of dead bodies and stuff like that. It's all very serious. And then the second one I'm doing is them coming home. So it's softer and a bit more detail into who they are and their interactions with other people and their families. And there are no rules. As long as it fits into the world build, you can do whatever the heck you want with a short.
Yeah.
I
had a sudden thought, writers amongst you, Evelyn, you too, love you, man. I've been writing basically mini me outlines for different stories in my fantasy world, and I've been exploring ideas like more like not quite like this, but basically like very non-biblical ideas about reality within the confines of the spirit of this. Nothing as simple as like, oh, there's a dragon, that's not realistic or biblical. And actually, dragons are in the Bible, but that's not the point. No, like ideas of like reincarnation and different concepts, and I'm always kind of like struggling, like how non-biblical can I go and still be like authentically tell a story that I want to tell in a way that I like within the framework of what I believe as well. It's something I've been kind of considering more recently when putting all this stuff, all these notes together. Well, how do you guys kind of tackle all of that? Because it's like when you're in a fantasy or a sci-fi novel, like the whole, you can do whatever you want. It's fiction, but at the same time, you know, ties back to reality in some ways.
That's true.
Well, personally, I'll go ahead and go first here. Personally, I like to not be afraid to be a little bit on the nose. You know, like Equilibrium, for example. Look how on the nose it is with all of its tropes, down to literally saying the words "opiate to the masses" and everything, and having incineration chambers instead of like gas chambers. Right? We're seeing a lot of inspiration from real life there, and especially if you're drawing from real life, I think you actually have permission to be a little bit more on the nose, because now you're being kind of historical, as long as as long as you approach it correctly and everything. There's a little educational aspect to it when you reenact the assassination of Julius Caesar within the confines of your own characters, right? People who catch it are like, whoa, and then maybe that makes them like Caesar a little bit more, and they go and geek out on a bunch of more history or something. But I digress. I think it's okay to be a little bit on the nose with that stuff, without coming off cheesy. Like the delivery does matter. Try to veer more cool whenever possible.
Rule of cool always exists, and it should never be fully ignored in a story designed to entertain. But yeah, Jared, Daniel, what do you guys think?
You want to go with me, Daniel?
Real quick, because I don't have too much to say on it. It's more important to know what you want to say at this point, because you're just banding notes. You're not actually writing the story itself. So I would go over those notes with an eye towards what it is that you want to communicate to the reader, and start there.
Okay. Yeah. No, that's
whatever the subject is.
Well, an example. It's so far out from being anything that someone could read that doesn't matter at this point. But like one of the storylines that I have the most notes on is it's basically a family within this world, and every generation or so they have to give up one of their children in exchange for a prolonged connection to an alternate like world that is basically fire and demons and things of that nature. It gives everyone in their family power, but like just every couple generations we got to give up one of these little ones essentially. And it's a very dark story that I want to explore there. And that one is pretty, I'm like, it's going I don't know if I can really write these as good people entirely, because they may do good things, but the basis of everything they do is wrong.
Yeah,
and they're born of of something very, very bad.
They're clearly okay with sacrificing kids or whatever. So like, yeah, there's a moral thing going on there. But I was just gonna say the themes tend to find you, right? That's a saying. It's a like.
Well, he just found his theme.
Exactly.
In saying that.
Yeah.
But
Jared, what were you gonna say?
I was just like, so just to make sure I'm understanding like where you're coming from. What you're trying to reconcile the story you want to tell with the parameters you think you have in terms of your beliefs.
Yeah, and I can acknowledge you could you learn this in high school, like write a convincing article or convincing essay proving a point that you don't actually agree with. Like that we all had to, at least I had to do those kind of exercise quite a bit. So I can understand that, but then again, this is my own story. I don't have to champion something that doesn't fit within my own belief and parameters. So, and
I think that exercise serves a purpose in terms of understanding debate. I don't think it necessarily serves a purpose for teaching you for making you an artist. And so for me personally, like my book is, let's just say, like, there are a lot of people who know me from this church that will side-eye me for the rest of their life if they read this book. Because, like, the thing is, like, I have a story to tell, and that's the story that came to me. I'm going to tell that story, and I'm not going to nerf the edges of my story because I feel like I have to
appease someone.
Yes. And so, and the thing, like, I have a very like Jungian approach to it, because like one thing that really bums me out about a lot of Christian people is their inability to acknowledge the horrible shit that goes on in the world and the darkness in their own mind. And like that, I cannot stand that, because they're half people. Like, you're a half person if you cannot face and stand to look at the darkness in the world,
or and in yourself, especially.
Yes, and in yourself, then you will be consumed by it, or you will be governed over by someone who can look at it without flinching. And so I take that into my storytelling. It's like, I'm going to tell this story, and I'm going to tell all of the story, and I'm not going to flinch at it, because this is, and granted, like, I'm doing an epic fantasy world, and so like there are creatures and races in this world that don't exist in real life, and they still have to deal with life in its basic elements. Like, there's always war, sickness, death, and suffering,
and everything that comes with that.
Right.
Yeah.
And there is that spark of light that keeps life moving forward, that keeps life around. And it's like, I'm not going to be some grim derp moron who just talk, well, everything's dark and nihilism and it sucks. Blah. Like, I don't. I'm not.
Nothing matters because nothing is real.
Yeah.
Life is suffering.
Yeah.
Anyway, kill yourself.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Like, that's not interesting to me. That's boring. Like, because people, like, the human species has overcome. Like, that's what we do. We deal with the suffering and the shit all the time, and we walk out of it. We overcome it. And so, like, I tell that in my story, and like, I try a lot. I try hard to be Christian, and I suck at it a lot of the time. I really do. And I'm not going to bring my faith into a story on the front end. Like, my faith will show up if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
Because if I approach it and I'm trying to tell a story within the parameters of what I think is okay within my faith, then I'm preaching. I'm not storytelling. I'm not making art. I'm preaching.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm a storyteller.
Yeah. Nope. That's a great way to explain everything. Yeah. Nope. I thought like that, and that's something that drives me nuts too. It's not just Christians, by the way, too. It's like anytime, like, if you're someone and you hear something horrible that happened in real life, like something tragic, of course people will say, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe this." But then I hate when other people say, "Oh, I could," like, someone does something bad. "Oh, I could never." I hate that phrase in relation to that kind of subject. I'm like, what do you mean you could never? Like, you couldn't do something wrong? Give me a break.
Yeah,
we all do wrong things. We're all very capable of doing bad things. That's the whole essence of existence, is not doing the bad things and going towards the light. But yeah, no, it's
Bill and Animation Overlord. Those are some good chats. Good chats they threw up there, man. Good stuff.
Oh yeah, they've been going off in the chat here. Bill, here let's celebrate the chat here for a second. Bill says that him and his brother were having a similar discussion as your thoughts. Overall, people just don't want to think for more than 2 seconds and really evaluate things. Animation Overload says, my philosophy is I don't set out to offend people, but if I do, they probably needed to be offended.
Yeah.
But if they were offended, it's their fault and they're weak and they're not alpha males.
Yep. And then Bill elaborates. He says, people don't want to acknowledge their faults. People don't want to train their minds. People don't want to hit the gym. There's an epidemic of people who seek laziness option if they can, which is like the lack of accountability that we're seeing in society a little bit, right?
That's not an epidemic.
Right.
I think people
that's
are just
baseline humanity.
Yeah.
That's baseline humanity. When given any opportunity, every person's instinct is to go for the easiest route.
Yep.
Always. For almost all people. And you can train that out of you, obviously, but it's like anecdotally, my son, he's had some behavioral challenges recently. So I've made him come to my work. I set up a chair and a table, give him some books and like a couple of toys and water, and he has to sit there. And the other day, it was like after 2 days in a row, he's like, "Dad, you don't understand. I'm so bored. It's horrible." I'm like, brother, that's my life.
Yeah.
Learn how to be bored.
Yep. Master it.
Yeah.
Let it. Yeah. What does Dune say? Recognize it. Allow it to pass through you.
Yeah.
Give it permission to pass through you, and then it's gone.
Yeah.
He was talking about fear. But yeah, boredom is the mind killer.
Here's the mind killer.
It's fear.
The real mean one that I do believe is true is if you're bored, that means you're boring. It's such a mean thing to tell somebody, and I'm not. I will not tell that. I have not told that to my son. He's in a kind of emotional place right now. Yeah. But in general, I think that's true. Like, use your imagination. I could sit there and like in perfect contentment for hours. Well,
maybe the way to say it is like if he says, "Dad, I'm bored," and it's like, "Well, don't be boring."
Yeah, I have told him that.
Yeah, don't be boring.
Yeah. A big accomplishment for him. He actually sat down and read a book for 22 minutes straight without someone telling him to, like, no gun to his head telling him to do it. And he didn't take a break. He did it all on his own. For him, that's a big thing. It's like when I was his age, I was reading Harry Potter for hours. But
how old is your boy?
8. This one, my oldest, Thorin, he's 8.
Yeah. Dude, my oldest is 8, and his name is Farron.
I know. We talked about this. It's great,
That's
dude.
so wild, dude.
Oh, no, it's good. It's like I like a co-worker of mine when I first named him, I was like, "You named him Thorn?" Like Thorn. I'm like, no. I'm not a psychopath, dude. What do you mean? I didn't name my son Thorn. Sounds like a 90s kids cartoon, like, fantasy villain.
Kahuna, speaking of fantasy villains, you're getting called out like an old-timey Western right now.
Removes trousers.
Someone just kicked in the pub door and they're like, Kahuna! Zip.
Face me!
Yep. Zip. Face me. Yep.
Kahuna's very own Vegeta.
Yes. His Nega Kahuna. Negahuna. We've been workshopping a foil for his fairy character.
Yes!
He's ready.
I'm here. Now, whether my pants are on or not.
I gotta get the shot. There it is.
I'll have to see.
They're both on the screen. There you go.
It's ma'am.
It's ma'am.
Kahuna has gone Super Saiyan.
It's ma'am.
Perfect.
Perfect. Right, dude.
Good times.
It was like when I was in it. We were weird in high school. Anyway, we were in Idaho for some reason. It was nighttime. We were walking the strip, and one of the guys like tied his t-shirt like a bra, and we were like walking like streetwalkers. It was a fun time. Anyway, but then someone pulled up and we're like, oh my god, we gotta go. What are we doing? what did we think would happen here? This is not smart. Anyway. Anyway, I was homeschooled for those who were curious. Yeah, that about answers that question.
Yeah.
We're not normal.
Is Billy Armstrong in the chat?
Yes.
Yeah.
Billy!
Bill McWeezadian.
McQuiston.
It's getting cold, Bill.
McQuisdian.
Yeah.
Something.
Yeah.
McQuiston?
Good grief, you Italian! Can't you pronounce an Irish name? Crying out loud!
What are you, Italian?
We're having a lot of white on white racism going on.
Yeah.
Here.
Mario
It's like the entire history of Great Britain.
You friggin' what?
Kahuna, it's not racism, it's colorism.
It's true.
I hate those people, those white pale people over there with bad teeth, and they're like, we also hate you white people over there with bad teeth.
Yeah.
The entire history of Great Britain summarized.
This stream is officially gone R-rated.
Yeah.
The shirt came
we,
off.
the Irish had better whiskey.
True.
Just
Always.
All the Brits had was tea. Speaking as like
and brown ale.
Yeah. Well, we are in the third act, Daniel. So this is where the whole thing goes off the rails before either a cliffhanger or a conclusion, right? So,
like according to you, this should be the end of this arc. This book should be the end of this arc, if I'm not mistaken. Hey guys, look!
It's the chieftain.
Guys, it's that guy who's imitating John. Yeah, that guy.
Oh, Douglas. I was on
In
Facebook
my
today.
stories, orcs die.
I was
Daniel just throwing shots already, man.
I made 3 videos off of the Orc City meme nonsense, and they all did fairly well. So thank you for that.
Yes.
I mean, John, he's just prickly enough to go viral every now and again, and he when he hits, dude. He hits so hard.
Yes, I was on Facebook, and your tweet that you put out about not a fan of Gladiator 2, but you like Pascal's black and blue outfit.
Yeah,
it was on some guy with
dude.
like 40 million followers on Facebook posted it, and they thought I don't know if they made the connection somehow, but it wasn't. Like, your name wasn't in it. It was like a screenshot, somebody commenting on your screenshot, and then somebody commenting on that. I was like, hey, it's John. It's on Facebook. I was like, dang, it really blew up.
If I was a jealous man, I would have been remember when John had that the video about the bookstore, like all no books for men, like in Target. I had a video very, very similar to that, like 3 or 4 months before that. I was like, if I were. I'm so happy he went viral, but it could have been me.
You didn't make the video with your shirt off, bro.
That's
true, but when I take my shirt off in your average store, I get arrested. It doesn't work out. They're like, ma'am.
It's ma'am.
Wait, if I say I'm just south of Seattle, I could actually probably do that and be fine. It's like, I don't go to Seattle anymore. I don't like getting grabbed. True story, dude. Every time I went to Seattle for like 3 or 4 years, like someone would just grab me out of nowhere, and I would not like it. And then my wife really liked going there. It was really never made that connection. Anyway, here we are.
Just so people would grab you.
Yep.
Got to get grabbed sometimes. Got to get that. Human
I was lonely, AC. Okay.
my going back to Big John. My favorite response to the black and blue post he made was the Gandalf gif. I suppose you think that was terribly clever.
Dude, that was a fun thread.
Genius.
That was a fun thread.
I can't give the people what they want, Bill. If you look hard enough on the internet, you're going to find some things of me you do not want to see. I promise you. I don't think you can even search for it, but it's out there from when I was an adult and a child. Anyway. Oh wait, that sounds really bad.
That sounds so bad. Why would you say that?
Especially with your shirt off.
Like a Disney
God,
adult?
man.
Like a Disney adult?
Oh, that
Is what you're
sounds
saying?
so bad. No, I have cringy content, is what I meant.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
there's I'm sure there's other things I don't want on the internet, but
Immature.
well, life goes on.
Yeah.
I'm never running for office, if anyone's wondering.
It's fine.
Like, do you have
I'd
any?
vote for you, though.
It's gonna look like that scene from the movie The Campaign. So we're gonna be under a microscope here. So guys, if there are any skeletons in the closet, tell me now, and I promise I won't get mad. The youngest son, I said the Lord's name in vain at school. Said I want to get mad, and I'm not mad. And then it just gets so much worse from there.
Yeah, I bet.
I have a whole book. I have a whole book full of cooter shots from underneath those stairs at the mall. Like it gets, you know. If you haven't seen that movie, it's the best political satire, like making fun of politics movie. It's my favorite one. It's so good. Anyway,
all illicit material I've ever seen about Kahuna has been viewed against my will. Douglas had the Clockwork Orange treatment.
He's sitting there. He's like, his wife goes like, put her hand on his shoulder. Don't touch me!
It's just a lot. It's just 24 hours of shirtless Kahuna.
Yeah. The live
Why
stream.
his eyes are red in this picture.
Oh my god.
It's like looking into the eyes of a Ghost Rider in Marvel.
And then stare.
We're gonna,
anytime Kahuna's shirtless, figure it out. Anyway,
yeah, we're gonna compile 24 hours of footage and just do the looping live stream.
No, can we? I'm surprised no one clipped. Whose show was it the other day? Where I said that, like, I was talking about like narration and like reading books and doing a good job, and then I mispronounced the name. Oh yeah, it was Brian McCoppin's book. I said the wrong name. It's like and I said Anise.
Anise, yeah, Book of Anise.
Like about 30 minutes before that, he told you how to pronounce it.
And we talked about it. I said it right before that, and then I said like Anise. That's so bad. It's so funny. And because it was like the final like leaving note to the show, like, all right guys, this has been the Iron Seas, and if you want to support him, go buy his third book, the Book of Anise.
Tonight,
Anise.
Tonight, he said he'll call Daniel's book Jesse Day. Number 3, go out there and buy that Jesse Day book from that Daniel P. Riley.
Anyway, this book is based on some of them animus over there in Japan with the Japanners. And
it's anime.
Yeah, anime. One of them anime books called Jisedai.
Come on, if you're gonna say shit, you better say it proper, like.
Say it American. Come on,
anime. From over in Japan.
Oh, Nekiwa, yeah. I can speak Japanese. Suzuki, Yamaha, no.
Mitsubishi.
Still ain't doing it right.
Mitsubishi.
All right, guys.
Before we get canceled by the entire Asian market,
yes.
Oh, it's like I love when people get canceled for dumb things. Like there's this VTuber and like drama tube kind of guy, Nuxtaku. Kind of harsh, but he's funny and he's always made me laugh. But it's like people were talking about his controversies over the years. Like then there was a time he offended that. Yeah, no, it was like he offended people for the way he said Full Metal Alchemist. And like go sleep. Full Metal Alchemist, dude. Just like I can't get for that. That's so good, dude. Oh, it's good. It's good. All right, we should probably start plugging. It's almost Justin's nap time. I can see the light dying in his eyes as we go on.
I'm fading pretty fast myself.
It's late out here on the East Coast. We live in the future, Baron.
Yeah, you do.
But you're so backwards. No.
So backwards.
Yeah, I only have 2 more weeks of this late appearance because every time I've come on for the last 3 weeks, like Justin's dying.
He's so tired.
I'm used to bed early and up early is what I'm used to, but you know.
Oh, what was it? I'm trying. Oh, never mind. I lost it. Whatever was in my
head.
Yeah.
Daniel and Justin are both East Coast time.
Mm-hmm.
And we have regular sleep schedules.
East Coast, least coast, anybody? The West Coast, West Coast?
West Coast, West.
I don't know. We have we have less holes, but more gay cities, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, we have Florida.
It's a trade-off. Yeah, but
Florida's the South. You can't claim Florida.
That's East Coast,
the South.
Man. That's
Get
the
out
coast.
of here. Florida's its own
don't
thing,
you take
man.
Florida from us? That's all we got.
Don't worry, you have.
We have.
Fuck. Never mind. I guess yeah, like what Georgia's all right? I mean,
all the cool areas
yeah,
are
it's not bad.
south.
Oh yeah, Georgia, like people do, like it's right on the verge of being south. I'm not sure how people change it up. Like the actual designation for what's like the south, like the Midwest, is not Midwest. Like it doesn't make any sense. But
yeah, I feel like DC area should be considered the Middle East because it's east and mid. But
don't say that; they'll send gunships.
That's not what you meant. We know what you meant, Justin.
I know. And the other thing is too is like south of the Mason-Dixon, that's considered south, but most people don't consider like Maryland the South. But technically,
Maryland.
I didn't draw the map. I don't know.
Yeah. It's a mistake. Thank you, animation, for that quote. I hope please put it on a poster.
Maryland is south adjacent.
All right.
It's like technically we're south if you're in Canada, but that whole country's backwards, so I don't take anything they say seriously. All right, AC, start plug. Yeah, start. I can't say that now. I forget.
Start plugging what? Start plugging.
You should just stop talking when you have your shirt.
We have the best plugs.
All right, so this Friday we got a new song dropping on the Empty My Lungs YouTube channel. It's also dropping on Iron Seas right here, so you can check it out at either place. That's what we're going to start doing, and I think I'm going to start pulling some musicians in to be guests on here too, because I've had a few musicians lined up for Empty My Lungs, but I just haven't had the time to launch an entire new show.
Well, we told them they had to be sober, and they just never messaged back.
Shit! I had to be sober on here.
Oh
shit! Yeah,
this is a dry
stream.
Thank you. Couldn't think of the word.
That just reminded me.
This is a dry.
Do you
it's
guys?
Dry. Yeah.
Do you guys remember the Iron Age nights last year where Daniel got stupid drunk?
Which
was that
time?
your birthday?
It takes a lot for that to happen, you know.
I remember one where you were lit up and you're so smiley that night.
It was the one you would. It was the one you came on. You had pre-gamed before.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And you came on. I think you were like 3 deep. And I was like, "Oh, this is great."
And it just got worse the longer the show went on. Yes.
It's so good.
Oh, it was so fun, dude. That would have been a fun show to be on. I was never on Iron Age nights. That would have been fun though. That was a fun crew back in the day with the chat and such. It was like when they were replacing Richard, they gave it to Justin. I was like, oh man, oh well, he's a good choice. He's a good choice. But I really wanted to riff with everybody too. That would have been fun.
Shout outs to Royce. We saw him in the chat earlier. That was cool to see him.
Yeah, he's streaming and making videos every now and again. And,
Yeah. So, but aside from that, after that song's released, I'm gonna line up another one, an Empty My Lungs release, because the one that's dropping this Friday is by Evely Music. If my finger can go that way, that guy way over there. Okay, Evely Music and Kjord. And
he knows Gung Fu.
Yes. But I'll be lining up a new Empty My Lungs song right after that, and you can check out our Superman review tomorrow. Go find all of our link trees in the description. Find my music, my books, all of our music, everything. Go on our Substack and catch up on Haikai Legends, because confirmed probably some big things in the future for that. It's so fun that we just can't help but just keep thinking of things for it and potential stuff for the future. It like kind of comes naturally, so enough where when I get time to write, I have been dedicating it to that rather than editing, which I need to do both, but I should probably get my book done. But yeah, go buy my book too on Amazon, amazon.com/author.
Mortal Descent.
Yep,
read about lizard Yas Queens, immortal soldiers, and orcs who have a really bad European road trip.
Yes, basically yes. Bad vacation, summer vacation, right? Spring break.
National Lampoon's Euro vacation or Euro trip, whatever it's called.
Orc City. What is it? Orc City summer vacation. Orc City spring break. Yeah,
pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah,
spring break, Orc City.
and speaking of Orc City, the comic book campaign 2, fundmycomic.com/ASOS, art by Luke Stone. Also get Jisedai. And yeah, whoever's next can go. Thank you guys for listening.
All right, Jared. Plug yourself on camera.
I'm not going to do that. Thank you very much.
No.
The people are waiting. You're like, I've already done that. Wait, what?
It's the opiate of the masses, Jared.
Oh, I'm all set. Thank you. See, I am. I'm trying to. I'm painting. I'm writing, and I am. Also, I just cut the guitars for R.J. Williams. The music for R.J. Williams' new trailer.
Nice.
It's going to be coming out, and I did the guitars for that today, and going to get the drums for that. That I'm actually wicked stoked about how that turned out. So I can't wait to see it with the visual, like what he's going to put with it in the art. But the music's going to be dope. So did that. So yeah, I have about as much free time as Daniel these days.
Busy bees.
Your art has impressed me. I didn't realize you painted, and then all of a
thanks,
sudden,
man.
Here's my painting. Oh my gosh! It was like I physically reacted. I'm like, oh, let's see the painting. Blah! Double take. Like, what?
Sounding like Brennan from Step Brothers.
Yeah.
You, voice of an angel.
I
thought I saw Jesus for a moment.
Yes. But then you're like, oh yeah, I've just kind of been working on a map for my story too, and I'm like, oh yeah, let me see it. Just kind of expecting maybe a digital image or like a picture of his computer screen. No, he's like got like a full-on physical real map, like with burn marks and everything. It's just like the real deal. I'm like, it makes me want to make a map so bad again. But yeah, super impressed by that too. Good job over there, man. Keep grinding.
Thanks, man. Thank you.
It's great, dude. Also, Orc City being brought up again. We got to support Orc City because all the elves are coming in and they're taking all the good, hardworking, green-blooded orc jobs, and we can't have that. It's really bad for the culture. Honestly, they're losing their identity over there. So.
Well, hey, close your borders, man. Jeez.
Yeah.
And if you see something racist in that you're racist. All right.
Orc you.
Orc you. Yeah. Orc you. Damn.
I feel like
well played,
I feel like we're watching. This is like a microcosm of like society breaking down. What's happening in our chat right now?
That was a based version of Mark Hamill's "Go Force Yourself."
Orc
that was
you,
a based
Mark.
version of it. It was based.
Go Force Yourself is like the worst.
That was cringe when he did it.
That's the worst thing I can imagine. It's so bad.
But like a simple response, "Orc you." It reminds me of Spartans. They're like if. If that's if you guys aren't familiar, that's the Spartans said that back to Athens because Athens sent this long wordy thing. They're like, if we do this, that, and the other thing, blah, 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 we're gonna, this will happen. Your world is doomed, whatever. And then the Spartans just sent back
if you lose.
If yeah.
No, it's good.
But anyway,
yeah.
Kahuna, you wanna woo us out into the night? Unless I missed somebody. Did everybody shield?
Heavily.
No.
Evelyn, neither Evelyn nor Daniel have shielded yet.
AC kind of hit on what
like shut it down.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Did he get? Did AC get solicited again? Is that why he's itching to get off?
Distracted. Yeah. Distracted.
He's like, Kahuna, shut it down. It wasn't my decision, but Kahuna, you shut it down. Yeah, as AC was saying, a new song coming out with a guy named Kjord over on Twitter. He reached out to me like 2 years. It was literally like 2 years ago, and he was like, "Hey, you want to do a thrash song?" And at the time, I had time and interest, and I was like, "Yeah." I was like, well, as soon as I get time to sit down and do that, let's make it happen. But he did a lot of the writing of the song. It was just a matter of me sitting down and figuring it out and putting it together and everything. And he is very patient to wait nearly 2 years for me to finally get enough things cleared off the plate that I was like, okay, let's take care of this thing. So I think it turned out pretty good. It was fun. I grew up on thrash, so it was cool to make that. And he's a pretty good bass player, so that was fun to work on. And I'm just plugging away at my next little mini EP that working on a video for it and all that. And things always take longer than I anticipate. In my head, I was like, this will absolutely be done, no question, by the end of summer. And then life gets busy and it's like, all right, maybe we're looking to fall. So just chipping away at it. But yeah, that song's coming out on Friday. It's already up live on all the major streaming outlets, so you can just type in Evely and get your hands on it there. It's called Only Unknown. So, and Daniel,
Absolutely.
What you got going on? I know we already talked to you a little bit, but what you got?
A couple books coming out this year, excitingly.
Well, most of the stuff that has come out is the extent of what's coming out, with the exception of A Beast Unlike Any Other, which will be available in October for Halloween, the second book in my modern horror series. But the most recent release was the third Jisedai novel, closing out the Angel War arc. You can find that on Amazon. Sometime in the next 2 weeks or so, I should probably have that Gentle Wild short story called Soldier's Rest coming. It'll be posted on my Twix, which is at Mr. DP Riley. And of course, if you want to create something for yourself, come talk to me at Whimsyland Literary Coaching and Services. I'll help you get started and help you get finished.
He'll help you finish.
Don't say that with your shirt off, ass.
Or it's like that review for the new Fantastic Four movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was just awful. Oh my.
Oh, I made a meme based off of that. It was pretty good. All right. But yeah, man, I'm busy too. I got videos and stuff in the backlog coming up, like a bunch of projects I'm working on, and now church is having me film things. I'm like, I do everything on my phone, right? They're like, yeah, let's try it. It'll be fun. I'm like, yeah, let's give it a shot. So I'll be working on that, and I really went in depth on the Superman thing, and I didn't talk about as many of the negatives as I acknowledge. And so if you guys hate me and think I shouldn't have an opinion and that I should put my shirt back on, like some people have requested.
Yeah, you can pay. You can actually.
I definitely
pay.
think you should put your shirt back on.
Don't do it.
You can
That's
pay.
just because you're jealous, Daniel. You have the beard, but I have the bod. All right.
You can keep it.
I like the idea of it starts off with like a bounty system. It starts off, somebody pays, the shirt comes off. Somebody else pays, it goes back on. Somebody else pays more, it comes back off. Right?
Oh, it's like an auction.
The bounty keeps raising. Yeah.
It goes back and forth. It's like people who want it off, they pay more, and people who want it back on, they pay. Also, we got shirtless at the end. It sounds like a really gay love story that I don't want to be a part of.
Not enough orcs.
It's like when I was younger and married, like we were 22 and we went to Seattle, and she was like, "Oh, we should go to that bar." I'm like, "No." She's like, "Why?" I'm like, "I'm not going to a bar called The Cuff. Look at the people coming out of there. I'm not going anywhere near that bar, dude. So that's not a good time. I think I'm not getting out of there alive if I go in there." But then you got Bill in here being a dirty little shiller. We make that a slur. We make that a slur, a new slur.
For me, so it's okay.
Yes. Yes.
All right. If we have all been sufficient,
I'll allow it.
Yes.
If we have all been sufficiently shilled, I can take us out, AC.
Sufficiently filled.
Can we all just have like a sympathy nod to Justin's sleepy face right now?
Do I look as that bad?
You look how I feel, man.
I'm fine.
On the outside. I feel great. All right, guys, we have had shirtless, dirty kahunas. We've had author and a writing coaches offer to finish people off. We've had AC talking about chilling and making music. We've had Jared talking about his artistic talents in painting. We've had Justin barely staying alive for half of it. And now, this has been another episode of the Iron Seas. Join us next Tuesday at 6:30 PST, the Lord's time. Kahuna, and we're out.